social political movement of the time and sort of like put it onto the catwalk. He feasted on the aesthetics of the political protests of the time, the working class uniforms and the gangster underworld, provoking outrage and also adoration throughout his clients. Salon was the first to bring British streetwear such as leather jackets into the sombre couture salon. He appropriated the men's tuxedo and fedoras, putting them on women, and this became known as the smoking trouser suit. Fashion editors showered Saint Laurent in praise. The New York Times crowned his 1965 Mandarin-inspired shift dress as the brightest and freshest thing he's ever done. This dress is actually just in the hallway to the left, and you can see that it was a feat of engineering because actually he allowed the fabric to hang as flat as the artist's canvas, but it also hugged the woman's body, which is something that no one had ever really done before. He was also the first designer to really bring about the pret-a-porter collection, and he opened this boutique in 1966. And this was a move that really tapped into the 1960s spirit of like youth and rebellion. And as one commentator noticed, Chanel liberated women, but it was actually Yves Saint Laurent that liberated fashion. And we're going to move on to Pierre Cardin now.
So I'm just going to say a bit about Pierre Cardin, who is also a very influential French designer in the 1960s. And today we've got to display for us a beautiful black silk shift dress by Pierre Cardin, which is very typical of the trends that this brand was creating at the time, due to the drop waist and the way that the fabric hangs off the body, which was an attempt to liberate women's fashion from the constraints of being overtly feminine. Cardin was also very famous for his futuristic and space-age looks, and this image here was very prominent at the time. It was used in adverts to promote the brand in publications such as Vogue. Again, it's using very crisp and heavyweight fabrics in block, vibrant colours. So again, there's not much feminine drape in the clothing, which adds to this rejection of femininity that I was talking about earlier. Geometric shapes became Cardin's trademark, and he used them to decorate garments. Texture was also very important. He liked to experiment with space-age materials such as vinyl, PVC, metal, and exaggerated zips. And here we can see this leather fabric is used as a kind of belt, and again, the colour blocking is visible here. Again, he was very interested in headgear and hats, and experimented with different fabrics to create headgear, and often this ended up in a kind of astronaut-looking effect, which goes along with the space-age theme. Gemma's just going to move on to André Courage.
There we go, here he is. So much like Saint Laurent, Courage opened his boutique in the 1960s, 1961, after working for Balenciaga for 10 years. And his biggest achievement was creating the miniskirt, which we see today on a lot of girls on a Saturday night. During his spring collection of 1964, he kind of really came into his own as a designer. He was hailed like the new couture, like the new sort of like face of couture. And his collection was called the Space Age collection. These designs included like angular mini dresses and a trouser suit, and we've actually got one here today. So the material is really heavy, and it kind of creates that deliberate, structured look. So like the women were very much like tapered into it. And he also, so there's like geometric shapes, like bold use of colours, and he really liked to have cutouts here and here, and this somehow meant that women didn't have to wear a bra, although I think that's slightly dangerous myself. But yeah, which also liberated women during the 1960s. Much like Cardin, they were matched with flat boots, goggles and helmets, which were equipment taken from astronauts, as we can see here.
Christian Dior was another very influential designer who was already very much established by the 1960s. So, much like Kate said earlier, Dior was very much associated with kind of 1950s glamour, which was very overly feminine, cinched in waist and big full skirts. However, in the 60s, Dior focused a lot on the brand, focused a lot on the suit, and today we've got a men's suit here today, which is Christian Dior, and it's a good example of the sort of tailoring that the brand was producing in the 1960s. Also, we can see Yves Saint Laurent's influence on the brand, because he was actually working for Dior at the beginning of the 1960s. And so in women's fashion, the suit was also very prominent. So as well as boxer jackets and mini skirts, there was a kind of longer length jacket that was double-breasted and created quite a strong and androgynous silhouette. And then again, Dior was still very much associated with couture and luxurious evening pieces, such as the one that you can see on this image here. So thanks very much for listening today, and we hope now you've got a bit more background about the designers we've got on display here and that are on display elsewhere in the gallery. You can feel free to have a look around the gallery and also look closer at the pieces that have been displayed for us today. Just want to say thank you very much to Kate and Andrew for helping us and putting on this mini exhibition for us today. And also to Dee for supporting the whole thing. And just, also you should all have a voucher, which will give you free tea or coffee and